The Delhi hit-and-run case, the investigating officer has told certain facts to the court. The IO has told the court that 6 new CCTV footage have been obtained. They have mapped the route of each of the accused and proper timeline has been established. It's a big route. We first took them together and then took them individually. That's what the police is telling the court. The police goes on to say that they've got CCTV footage wherein they got down from the vehicle. First, they were saying that they never got down. It's shown that they got down, saw something is stuck, and even after that continued to drive. That's what the investigating officer is telling the court. We'll try and get my colleague Ananya on the story and get more details. But this is the reconstruction of the crime scene. Bit by bit, with the help of all the CCTV footage, the sequence of events has been weaved by the investigating agency. What happened, how it happened, how many accused were present on the spot. The version of the accused that they did not know that somebody was stuck beneath the car and they were heavily drunk, and that's why they didn't realize is something that the police is saying is not true. They got down from the car, they saw somebody was stuck, and even after that they continued to drive. That's what the officer is telling the court. This is clearly going in line where the police would want to press serious charges against the accused, not just 304 but 302 as well. Keeping in mind that if there was somebody stuck beneath your car, you did not stop the car, then perhaps the charge of murder can also be investigated against you. Ananya Bhatnagar with us on the broadcast. Ananya, tell us what the court has been told by the police authorities.
Well, first of all, the court is in fact coming down heavily on the police authorities for not using the PC remand in a very good way. They say that because the police came back and said that they found 6 new CCTV footages into this particular case. So the court was of the clear view that why only CCTV footages are being scanned and why can't it be done in one go. In fact, the court very categorically in Hindi said, "आप कब तक ये सब करते रहेंगे और CCTV footage कब तक recover करेंगे जब तक evidence destroy हो जाएगा तब तक." But apart from that, the new info has emerged out in this particular case, and which is very, very sensational in nature, which clearly goes on to say that there are CCTV footages which show the contrary to what the accused have been constantly saying. They got down from the car, they knew that girl was actually stuck in that particular car, but they still tried to in fact drive that car even after knowing that somebody stuck in that particular car is what has emerged out from the new CCTV footages that have come out. In fact, the police have said that these people are not cooperative in nature, and in fact their routes are being mapped not only together but also they were taken individually in order to map their complete route, and 6 new CCTV footages have also emerged out, and more CCTV footages are being studied. In fact, more witnesses have come into the picture in this particular case. So somewhere or the other, a big twist coming in wherein the whole theory of what the accused were trying to say that they were not aware of this girl being dragged, they were not aware whether somebody is stuck on that car, is completely going wrong, because now CCTV footage have come out wherein it's clear that they got out of that particular car and were actually aware of that particular girl being stuck in that particular car.
Ananya, let's talk about the proceedings before the court. The accused are in police custody and they would want an extension of the custody. What exactly procedurally is happening in the court? Give us more details about that.
Well, Anusha, the court, in fact, the Delhi police is not seeking any further police custody of these accused persons. They are seeking a judicial custody of all of these accused persons, because this means that they are no more needed for confrontation. They are no more needed for any kind of interrogation at this point of time. So, however, the public prosecutor has categorically stated, and remember, Mr. Atul Srivastava is appearing in this particular case as the additional PP, which shows that the Delhi police is very, very serious in nature, because he's somebody who's been there in only very serious matters of the Delhi, wherein Delhi police has been investigating. The PT has clearly told the court that though they are not seeking the particular judicial police remand at this particular point of time, but then they can do it in case they want to do it later on.
Ananya,
however,
if one talks about the FIR that has been put by the Delhi police, what are the charges in that FIR? Because if they're not taking a judicial police custody anymore and the accused go into JC, that means prima facie, as you said, they don't need the accused with them. They don't want to confront, and if they need it at a later stage, they'll ask the court. So that takes the entire focus to what they have done so far from the evidentiary point of view and in the FIR. We spoke of the evidence in the FIR. What are the key charges?
Well, in the FIR, the key charges the biggest charge against them is culpable homicide not amounting to murder, which is Section 304 of the IPC that has been invoked. The only non-bailable offence, in this particular case. It said that these people dragged that particular girl for almost 13 kilometers. If you remember that this was mentioned on the last date of hearing as well, that the girl was dragged for almost 13 kilometers on that particular stretch while she was stuck in that particular car. And that's the result. In fact, the postmortem reports also have revealed that there were injuries which were due to dragging and friction that had emerged out from that particular dragging for a long time. In fact, it's also been the theory that was being put forth that even the girl was drunk has completely been turned down by, in fact, the postmortem reports at the prima facie stage, wherein there were no traces of alcohol in the body as per the postmortem report. And in fact, the only and the biggest development that today happened before the court of law is that it is very, very clear from the CCTV footages. The police has told this to the court that these people were well aware that that girl was stuck on that particular car and still was being dragged for
Ananya,
almost 13
the
kilometers.
family has been demanding, and I know legally it's tricky, that 302 should be put in this case. The fact that Delhi police has engaged a serious lawyer of a good reputation to pursue this matter from the side of the prosecution. What is your sense? Have you been speaking to the lawyer? Is there any chance that 302 can be added in the FIR instead of 304?
Well, Anusha, at this point of time, when the investigation is still at a very, very nascent stage, it would be a little tricky to say whether or not a 302 would be invoked and whether the Delhi police could corroborate a theory, could corroborate those evidences to prove that a 302 shall be invoked against these particular persons. But definitely with Atul Srivastava coming in, remember that Atul Srivastava is somebody who's known in the legal circles. He was the one who was the prosecutor in the case when it comes to, whether we talk of the Sushil Kumar murder case, Sagar Dhankar murder case where Sushil Kumar was accused, or whether we talk of the sensational Sunanda Pushkar murder case was the same public prosecutor who was appearing for the Delhi police representing them in that particular case. And that was also a very, very similar case in that nature where 302 was not pushed in but was said that it might be pushed in. So it's a case of very, very similar nature, and we might see that in a later stage of investigation that this might happen. But at this point of time, with the kind of evidence that the Delhi police have, I don't think at this moment that the Delhi police would be taking a chance of invoking a 302, because proving that would become very, very difficult, and that might